Hello, 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 hello. Well, you can definitely tell when you gain weight. The camera puts on something about 10 pounds, I think. Hmm. It's good no one's here yet because I'm chomping on these cucumbers. And they're very healthy, but what I ate before was not healthy. I just had a hot dog, 2 hot dogs with relish and hot and spicy mustard. So if anybody's on, give me a thumbs up. This is my Q&A for today, and I have a lot of questions from people, and I'm hoping that I can get through them all once some people come on, because I'm all alone here. So I'm going to just sip my tea and wait for some people to join me so that I can wash down my cucumbers and my hot dogs and see where people are. None of my friends are here so far. If you're here, raise your hand. It doesn't look like anyone is in the chat yet. I'm just typing here to see if I can find some people to join me. And so what's been going on with everyone? For the people who watch this in the replay, I haven't been doing a lot of lives and videos because I've been focused on getting my hi. Know why? I can't see my comments. I don't know why I can't see comments, so that's weird. So, Michelle, say something. I mean, Margaret, say something, Michelle. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's my comments. I can't see any comments. So if you're here, please comment. I can't see anything. I don't know why. Can everybody hear me? I don't know what's going on. I can't see any comments. So comment. Okay. So something super weird going on. Okay. So if it feels like I'm chatting to myself. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Let me look to see what's going on. Okay. Let's go here. Wait a minute. Yeah, I don't know where my comments are. That is really interesting. So yes. So I'm going to have to go over to my tablet and see what's going on because yeah. Going to have to go over to my tablet and see. Okay, so you guys are here. I just can't see comments on my computer. So I'm just going to be looking down. If you have any questions, I don't know what's going on. And there's also a delay. So I just want to let you know that I'll be looking down at my tablet. I have tons of questions. I'm glad that everybody can join me. I thought I was alone, so I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, that is really weird. Let me see. That so I'm going to type something here to see if it comes up. It's easier for me to focus if I can see. Okay, so something came. So I came up, but I can't see your comments. That is really weird. Yay. Okay, so that's been taken care of. Woo. So if you have any love iced tea and cucumbers, Yes. Okay. Good. 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 So hello, Michelle, Larissa, Cotton Wave, Sharon, Karen, Jennifer Arts, Kayla. Hey, my friend. Oh, thank you. You said quarantine is making me gain weight, Kay. It's making me gain weight, but it's making me I'm on my hustle though, because like look at these cheeks. So yes, so I'm looking at you from my computer, but when I look down on my tablet, there's a delay, so don't worry about it. You said no, it's not Kay. I love you. I do. I was trying to see if Nikki was coming on because she sent me the most questions. I have ton of questions. If you have any questions for me, leave them in the comments. Business related, mom related, personal related. I can only answer marriage questions to a degree, but I can answer, just based on like my experience and things like that. I have been married a couple times, so I don't know if you want my opinion. Something cute happened today, on Facebook. Whoever is on Facebook, right? They show who you've been friends with, like your friend's anniversary. And so today it pops up that Thomas and I have been friends for 9 years. And literally that's when we started dating. So we started like talking to each other August 1st. And then by August 5th, we were friends on, what's today's date? The 6th. By the 6th, we were friends on Facebook, and then it progressed from there. But that's like really interesting that that came up. I said, Thomas, oh my gosh, our friend anniversary. So next year will be 10 years. We met, and Thomas and I started dating in August, and we were married by November. We met online. Hi, Roslyn, ¿cómo está? And so it's been really cool to see that. So if anybody has questions, please ask me. I apologize if it's a delay or anything weird. YouTube has been acting weird lately. The same thing happened when I went on to Posh Boss Blake's yesterday. It was something weird happening on a tablet, so I went to the computer. It's the reverse for me because I cannot see any comments. I can type comments, but I can't see anyone's comments. So I'm looking down at the tablet. So if you see me looking down, that is why I'm looking down. And then when I look at the tablet, it looks weird. So I decided that I want to try to go live at least once a week. I'm going to start doing my chats again. If you have any suggestion of chats, let me know, and I'll think about it and evaluate it and see how it fits into the structure of my business. YouTube, even though I have a lot of fun with it, anything that I do on social media is an extension of my business. And I think everyone should think about it that way. So if you use social media in such a great way, like my good friend Rosalind is here, and she does a lot on TikTok, and now she's transferring that over to Reels. So if anybody's used Reels, let me know. That is the new feature on Instagram that just rolled out yesterday, which is similar to TikTok. Mark Zuckerberg is not playing around. So if for those who don't know it, Instagram is owned by Facebook, and his plan, he came live on Facebook a couple times early on during the pandemic and explained that he and his organization are trying to do as many things as they can for people to reach out and experience things. That's why he came up with Facebook Rooms. Just think about it. Facebook Rooms is literally the same feature as Zoom, but it's free. You have Facebook Shop, which is the same as a website, but it's free. So think about that. Instagram has been doing a lot of things, but they're like, you know what? We're not going to let TikTok take over. I got to bend over for a minute because I got to get my fan, y'all. So there it is. See, comments just popped in. So it's something with the computer. Yeah, Kayla's comment just popped in. So there's definitely something going on. Okay, so I have a couple questions here. So Rosalind, my son is in South Korea, and he is due to come home on August 17th after a 3-month delay. So we're praying that he lands in American soil. I still won't be able to see him because he'll be going straight to the Army base in upstate New York, but at least he'll be on American soil. So August 17th, he should be landing in Seattle, Washington. I'm not messing around with COVID. I'm not traveling or doing anything. I love my kid. As long as he's on American soil, after he gets to his new base and gets settled, he'll be able to travel like a civilian. So he still is, of course, in the Army, and he'll be in the States for 2 years. And then he said he's ready to go off to Germany. So, that's what we do. We raise them to do their thing. So Kay says, how has your reselling been the past few months? I've lost the pulse on market. Is COVID affecting sales? Well, Kay, for people who don't know, Kayla Walker, Kayla is a good friend of mine. She was really instrumental in the beginning when I started like all this stuff. She was the first person I ever interviewed on my podcast. So for Kayla Walker, everybody give her a wave. Rosalind, I don't know if you know Kayla, because she's also in the Atlanta area. And so definitely, you guys, everyone should be connecting with each other who's here in the chat. But Kayla, my focus has shifted a lot. I've been focusing more on handmade. I don't know if you know, I just opened up a new store, which is called Graphic Necessity, where I take all the graphic shirts that I tie-dye and bleach, and I've created a Shopify website. And then I also have an Etsy website. It's not a shop, it's actually a website. It's Leslie's TieDyeDreams.com. Etsy. Through Etsy, you can have a shop, or you can have a website through Pattern. And with your website, you get more exposure. So for anybody who's really taking, oh good, it's coming up. It's starting to come up on my feed. But it's a delay. Like, so Margaret came on right at 8, says you look great, and it's just coming up. That's so funny, Margaret. So, and she's commenting on Instagram at the same time too. So, but Kay, I've been focusing more on handmade, and then what I've done with my Poshmark closet is really only focus on shoes. I have some lingerie. I have a few accessories like some sunglasses, but I'm going to be just focusing on shoes, lingerie, and handbags. That will be the most there. And then I also, don't be laughing, Margaret. You know, you that's what we moms do. We multitask. And so I've been focusing, and I'm Etsy. So I'm about to really do a lot with my vintage store, because I've been making at least 2 or 3 sales a week, but I haven't even added any new things. And I have about 200 new pieces to add to my Etsy store, because I have 2 full boxes, 2.5 boxes of things that I got from Jomar. So it's been really, really cool with what's going on. So I don't even consider myself to be a reseller. I consider myself to be a business owner. So I'm trying all new things. Hey, Quimby, what is going on? Yeah, so it says, Michelle says, I know I have talked about this before, but how did you get past being nervous, being on video camera? Michelle, I just did it. And you should have a conversation with Margaret, who is Dresden Avenue. I'm pretty sure you guys know each other, to really, like, since you're newbies, because Margaret now is really showing off with her videos, and she's like doing like what sold. And that's like really amazing me. Every time a video of hers pops up, it like really almost brings me to tears, because I remember her beginning journey. And Michelle, you got your tripod. Now, all you have to do is just do a video. Just keep doing your video. Keep doing your video. Yeah, so definitely make sure you just keep getting in front of the camera. You did your first video. I thought it was great. If you need to keep doing those in the beginning, just sitting in your car, you saw that little 2-minute video that I put on my feed yesterday. Sometime I just pull out my phone. That was meant to be a story, but then sometime when something's on my heart, it comes out. So I'm like, oh, it's 2 minutes long. But literally, this journey has been less than 2 years. My first video went out on January 2019. I started my podcast in April. Kay, who's here, I said to her, hey, can I interview you? So I did not come to the world like this. I had to work myself up to it. And you're much younger than me, but you're already ahead of the game. And I also, which is really funny, I already had businesses and I hosted events often, but I just never really felt comfortable getting in front of the computer or getting in front of a video. And I just told myself, you know what, you can do it. So I talked myself into it, and that's what happened. So I definitely would say connect with Margaret, because you both are in our group. And that's the other reason why I want to have our chat on Saturday, because it's all about, I want to make some collaboration. So that's for people who are in our private group. That's some new things that I'm working on. Well, Margaret, I'm super proud of you. So my goal is to encourage everyone, and I can only do that from this platform. So that's why I go live. That's why I put out the content on Instagram, I want to do so much more, but behind the scenes, I have to really, work my business. And I was kind of like waiting because I was waiting for Nikki to come on because she has so many questions for me. But I'm going to jump right in to so for people who are joining me, this is a question and answer segment. I've been wanting to go live. I haven't done any videos and I haven't been going live because I've been working on just kind of getting my everything together, like my inventory, really structuring down, really scaling down Poshmark, really deciding what I want to do with Mercari. Mercari slowed down dramatically in a drastic kind of way, but I think that with the fall coming, I can do some things with Mercari. But what I want to do with Mercari is, I don't know if I want to like keep relisting or adding things. I want to play around and see what it's going to look like, kind of get a feel of what the fall is going to look like, if that makes sense. So Poshmark is just shoes. As anyone saw, I got 2 thredUP shoe boxes. So I'm slowly listing some things, but I'm also adding stuff to my handmade stores. And then I'll be doing Etsy. So I'm going to stick with Poshmark, Mercari for hard goods. I'm not going to really be putting clothes on there. Right now it's like sandals and light shoes. Anything over like that pound, I really don't get into like heavy postage. So I'm just taking my time with the Mercari. Poshmark is like my first reselling love, so I wouldn't let that go. So I'm sticking with shoes and things that I know that sell, because I sell bras all the time. I sell shoes. I'm getting rid of some glasses and things like that, just some light stuff. And I sell bags. I'm going to be looking for bags. I've been trying to wait to see if I can snag a thredUP box with bags. They had some luxury ones at there, and I was like, yeah, I'm not paying $90 for 5 bags. That's not going to happen. So that's what's going on there. Let me see who else is joining. Sandra just joined. Hello. Who is Posh Lady 777? All my friends, ask me any questions. I'm going to jump into some questions. So Sandra said, I guess, okay, so it says, Michelle, I guess it's because I'm not directly talking to someone and it's a whole large audience of unknown that scares me. And so Michelle, to talk to you for a minute about getting in front of the camera, the first thing is you should do is really pretend like you're talking to someone that you care about. Pretend that you're talking to your children. Talk about something that interests you. This is the thing. There are so many videos you can make. There's so much content that you can make. You have to identify what works for you. I think the other reason that people have so many, I'm looking down because this is where my comments are on my tablet. They're not coming up, sorry, in the feed. But this is the problem that people have. The reselling community is where they want to try to focus. But if you know me, my focus is not about reselling. It's about the things that I like. Reselling just happens to be one of them. And the beautiful community has happened to embrace me. So my suggestion to you is you focus on things that you like. Like even my husband, Thomas, who is Posh Your Dude X on Poshmark and on Instagram. He's only been on Instagram, I want to say it's going on about 4 months now, but he basically posts what he likes. He doesn't care about what anybody else likes. Yesterday, he was at the bike store and he did some little video, and he just released his first IGT video, which has nothing to do with reselling whatsoever. So you have to find a middle ground of what works for you. There are people who want to do hauls. There are people who want to do what's sold. That's a beautiful thing. And I will tell you, for the people who are really just joining my community, and I don't mean this Q&A, my community who are just getting to know me in the last 2 or 3 months, I had stopped doing YouTube. YouTube was my first place that I was making videos. I put out 30 videos and I felt that it wasn't for me, because in the reselling community, people want to see haul videos. They want to see what sold. They want to see those things. And I'm more of a motivator and a teacher. So I took my focus and I put it onto Instagram. And 160 videos later, Instagram was the place that I should have been. Until now, as my community grew and we started going through the pandemic, people were like, oh, when are you going to start going back on YouTube? That was Nikki who encouraged me. She's like, when are you going to go back to YouTube? And I was like, I think now is the time, because people now, they want information. And the reason that they want information is because people were starting to get scared. They didn't know where they could source. They didn't know what kind of products they could put out. They didn't know if they would be in business. So that was my time to sneak back in there and start teaching from a different perspective. So when you see me do a video, even if it's considered to somebody else a haul, to me, it's not a haul. It's still educating and inspiring, especially when I tell you, like, how much a shoe costs and the retail and that kind of stuff. I put out content that I want to see in terms of video and hear in terms of podcasts. So if that makes sense, put out content that you want to see. If someone's doing something, but they're not doing it in the way that you can relate to or that speaks to your heart, then you put out the content that's coming from your heart. And then if it's coming from your heart truly, and you're not fake or phony, that's when people will come. So don't focus so much on the video itself. Focus on what is important to you. I hope that makes sense. That was all for Michelle. So it says, Michelle, let me go through. It says, Michelle, so Michelle says, I just finally got my ThredUp shoebox I ordered in April. Wonderful. Wow. They are really slow. You know why, Michelle? I was going to say they're usually so. My stuff comes, and that's because my stuff comes from Mechanicsburg, PA, and I'm in Delaware. So usually when I order something, it ships within 2 days, and I have it in my hand in less than a week. So that's why. So Dresden Avenue, who is Margaret, says, Michelle, I felt that way too, but not to. Now I think of all of you and just talk like I'm sharing with friends. Yes. Let's see. So Amy Rollo, hello, friend. And it says, Leslie, what is your favorite part of your business? Ha! I could go on and on about that. The favorite part, the most awesome thing about my business is that I can make all my decisions. I don't know if that makes sense. I can make all my decisions. I don't have to follow anybody's rules. And that's what I like about business in general, is that when you have a business, even if you're a reseller, and there's millions of resellers, and we'll take Poshmark, for example, that are doing things, you can reinvent yourself in any way that you want. So you can find something within that platform that relates to you, and as you can work and build your business. So that's what I like about being in business, is that I can be authentic. I can be true to myself. I don't have to answer to anyone. And then also I can have fun doing it. When I worked a job, the last job that I had, I was really stressed. But with my business, I actually don't get stressed. I may get tired. I have days that I get worn out. And I don't even get discouraged because there are ideas that keep coming to me. But I love the fact that every single day when I get up, one, I'm thankful for that, but that I can continue to do things that I love to do. I love being 51, my children being raised, and now I'm at a part in my life that I can literally just do whatever I want. That was a great question, Amy. I appreciate that. Let me see. So it says, somebody's asking questions. Okay. It says, yes, that helps a lot. Okay, Michelle, good. There's Nikki. I was waiting for you, Nikki, because I didn't want to read your question. Nikki, of course, Glow Girl Glow, Chandra, aka Nikki. She has a lot of questions. She's already always asking me questions. And what I want to say before, I know I've been talking a lot, but I want to say that this community is so awesome. And I say that all the time. I appreciate you. And there's so many people. And I go into my Anne of Green Gables, who is one of my actual favorite characters, and Megan Follows. If you guys, she's my age. So if you don't know about that, but Anne with an E. But there's so many kindred spirits among you. And Nikki has been one of those people. She's the person who actually said to me, when are you going back on YouTube? And that was my motivator. And I want to tell you that however you see me as Leslie in A Reseller's Passion, I am constantly learning from each and every one of you every day. I'm learning, I'm listening, and I'm growing through everything that you're doing. So as Margaret goes out and she's afraid and she goes through her videos, it encourages me to take the next step. As Michelle starts asking questions and navigating through her thing, it allows me to grow. And as Nikki is stepping in front of the camera and budgeting and things like that, now I'm back to really getting back on my budgeting and scheduling and all the things that I initially kind of started. So I just really Want you guys to know that there's no pretend, there's no fake. Everything you see is nothing but love that comes from my spirit, and you all encourage me. And the cool thing is, if whether you be in my chat or whether you talk to me on the phone, whether we're texting every day, my close friends are the best. And so this is what I tell everyone. I have almost 19,000 community members. I love friends. I love people. Love getting to know people. If you want to know me, you got to reach out to me and keep showing up, because it's so many other people on the other side that if you want to know me, you DM me, you answer comments and things like that. And that's how you build a close relationship with me. And so many people have done that in the last few months. And they're becoming really close to me because they're serious about what they're doing. And so when you reach out to me and you keep showing up, I'll keep showing up for you, because I can't touch everyone, and I'm there. So for the people who are here that know that I answer DMs and things like that, yes, Michelle, kindred spirit. I love Anne of Green Gables, for real. Anne Shirley is my girl, for real. My favorite part of my side hustle, this is summer, is that I've had the opportunity to bless some close friends and friends of friends. My BFF does some odd side work for me while she awaits news on her disability. That's an awesome thing. That is awesome. I love you too, Michelle. Okay. So Nikki's here. Nikki, raise your hand. I'm going to start off. I have a lot of questions. You guys hang in there. Throw questions out also that you may have. So I'm going to start with the first question. I don't know if Cynthia's here, Lady Hustle 19. And she says, when did I decide to diversify my income? This is the thing. Again, people see me as a person in the reselling community. Literally everything that I'm doing, I was already doing. When I was a stay-at-home mom, I had 2 businesses. I was crocheting. That was a real business. And I had a dessert business. I'm a baker there you go, Nikki. I'm a baker by trade. So I had those businesses. I was already diversified. I was working a job years ago. And then when I came home, I had to have some way to make some extra money. And then I got divorced. So not only was I got divorced, I became a single mom. I worked 2 jobs and I had 2 businesses. So I've always been diversified. So that's when I speak to you and say that you can do anything you want to do, even with children. If someone's holding you back, it's you. There's always going to be something in your way. And if you let those challenges stand in your way, you'll never go. You got to figure out how to go around. If there's a wall in front of you, you can climb over it. You can go around. If it's in water, swim under it. So I've always been diversified, because one, it's not even about the money. It's about trying and learning new things. That's the thing for me. It's like Nikki asked this question and it keeps coming back to me. She asked me, I don't know if she asked a question, but she said, I keep coming up with these great names. And that's like what the business is. In the middle of the night, I wake up, and I don't know who's believers, but for me, it's just like God saying, you know what? 51 isn't it for you. It's time for you to do some other things. So I'm going to implant these things into your mind. Now it's up to me to go forward and do those things. So that's, I'm going to keep going. And I have some other things. I had to even stop. Because I had speaking engagements, but because of COVID, things got canceled. So that's my goal too, to really motivate as much as I can. So that's it. The next 3 in a row are from Nikki. I had to outline everyone. So Glow Girl Glow, who was here in the chat. And wow, Amy, you have young children. Wow, you're 50 and you have young children. God bless. So I'm going to go to my questions, but that caught me as soon as I saw 50. I'm 50. My kids are 13, 11, and 8. I'm busy with them from morning to night, but I carve out my time each day to work on my business. First of all, thumbs up to you, Amy, and I'm going to send you a heart, because that is the cool thing. You're not going to let your children discourage you from doing what you need to do, and you'll just work harder and push harder. And especially if we're going to go into homeschooling, right? I homeschooled. And so you just have to figure out, I think everyone has to get out of the mentality that your children are holding you back. They're not. You're holding yourself back. You would be using your children as an excuse. You have to, because this is the key. Your youngest is 8, Amy. You're like, oh, my child is 8. But imagine how fast that 10 years is going to go. My baby, out of my 5 children. Then I married a man with 5 children. So our blended family of 10. My youngest child just turned 18. She's about to start college, and she is a full-time CNA, certified nursing assistant at a state facility. So that time in the blink of an eye. And I knew one day that my children would be gone, and then what would Leslie have? So I have always tried to figure out a way to do a business. So Amy, thumbs up. And not only to Amy, but to all the parents who are raising children, to all the parents who are homeschooling, you got this. I homeschooled 5 children for 8 years on purpose without virtual learning. I have a daughter on the spectrum, and I had a daughter who had a medical condition. That's why I stayed home, to make sure that she would be able to function and all that. My girl, Wendy Span, Salt Creek Style, is here. Hey, friend. And so Wendy, hello. I homeschooled too, and I'm a retired educator. Fantastic. So even during this time, because Sarah Styles put a post up, Sarah Styles LLC, if you don't know who she is, check her out on Instagram and her YouTube, about, trying to navigate and around having children. You can make it work. Take time off if you have to. There's so many things that you could do. Form a support group. But just keep, it's going to be different because you're homeschooling. It's a lot going on. The world is different. We're living in a twilight zone. It is what it is. We have to make the best of what we can. And hey, what can I say? So Jennifer Smith says, what is the best way to learn how to make a video on Instagram? I feel like I've watched 1 million YouTubes and I still can't get it. Well, Jennifer, you take your phone and you hold it up vertical, and you just start with your video. You can prop it. You can get a tripod. I have a little tripod. I just gave some tripods away. I have a tripod that my phone sits on. This is how I make my videos. I use my tripod. I'm going to get up for a second. So how I make videos, the 2 ways, this tripod and this phone. I don't use any fancy equipment anytime, anyhow. That's it. I don't plan on buying a special camera, even though my daughter gave me one. It's over there on the shelf. And I'm going to show you. I'm actually going to get up and show you guys my camera because I could be using that. But I'm more comfortable with this. So this is to show you guys that I'm real. I'm regular. Get my camera. Look, my daughter gave me this beautiful camera. I don't have time for this. And if you see my video, look, it's dust flying off of it. If you see my videos, they're just as normal as every day. I take my phone out of this case. I stick it in this tripod. I have a clicker, and I go. Any pictures that you see me take, I stick my phone again in the tripod, and I click. So for Instagram, you want your phone to be this way. You can film from 1 minute to 10 minutes. Put the Instagram app on your device, upload it, and there's your video. If you want to do YouTube, it should be horizontal. And you can make a video. When you first start, I think it's only 15 minutes until you get 100 subscribers or something like that. But that's just to let you know. So just do it. Whatever you want to talk about, sit there for a couple minutes. You don't have to do a 20-minute video. Do a minute video. Sometimes if you see my eyes going down, I'm looking at the clock on there because I'm like, depending on how long it is, sometimes my goal is just to create a story. But that 2-minute video I did the other day was supposed to be a story. I'm like, you know what? It's too long for a story. Bam, it's an IGTV. And I created a cover just to go in the front of it. So hopefully I didn't go too off. Let's see. Look at the comments. It says, Leslie, you did an amazing thing homeschooling your kids for 8 years. I love that. Your children are your greatest investment. They totally are. And they're the greatest humans that I know. They really are. In this world that we have to navigate in, to say that, as a mom, I do get concerned, but they are really great people. Let's see. I'm going out of my comfort zone and do some Poshmark stories. Well, so you're not going to be on the chat on Saturday, Wendy. So we're going to have to talk because I have some ideas for the group specifically for those things. Dresden Avenue says, LOL, I think the same camera my husband gave me and I don't have time for it either. Seriously, who has time for that? But the other thing, like I don't do videos on iMovie because I don't have a Mac computer. I use Filmora. So I just do everything through the cloud and I just use Filmora. which was $40 for lifetime. Once I get a Mac computer, then it'll be easier. But what I put on my phone goes to my iPad, and then what I can't do on my iPad, I just finish off on my computer. So Sharon J, yes, Leslie, has answered questions right away that I left on the chat, YouTube, so genuine. Kayla says, who is Kay, I want to know more about the current private group. We'll be talking about that because that's going to answer one of Nikki's questions. Oh, yes, Wendy and Kay, let's make those connections, friends. Okay, so Nikki's number 2, what are some tips on building a brand on social media? That is the easiest thing. First of all, you are your brand. So Nikki, you're already who you want to be. Even if later on you decide to change your name or anything, you're already Glow Girl Glow. But that's not your brand. That's the name. Your brand is you. So anytime anybody thinks of a reseller's passion, they go, hey, that's Leslie. That's the way that it should be. It shouldn't be Leslie, that's a reseller's passion. No, you should go, when somebody says that, do you know a reseller's passion? Yeah, that's Leslie. I know Leslie. And so that's the way that works. Okay. So I'm me. And so then you've already created your brand. You already know who you are. You're already budgeting. You're already selling clothes. Then you're going to be making your jackets and the things that you're going to be doing. You've already talked about that. You go live every Sunday. Nikki, follow her, Glow Girl Glow, every Sunday on Instagram. And as a side note, my husband Thomas would probably say, how do you know all these people? How do you know their names? He says that to me all the time. And I'm like, because I know them and I want to know them. The more they reach out to me, I will know their names. So that's the thing. So for the people that I know your name, that's why, because I'm interested and I'm invested and I want to know you. So that way, if he was here, he'd probably be yelling upstairs, how do you know all these people's names? So you're already your brand, Nikki. That's the first part of it. Then what you do is you find a name or something, that describes you. So people personally know you. They know you're Glow Girl Glow, but now you want everybody to know who you are. So when someone hears Glow Girl Glow, they'll go, oh, that's Nikki. So you identify who you are, then you decide what kind of content you want to put out. So if you're on the chat on Saturday, that's what we're going to talk about. I do want to chat and get caught up. And I'm talking chat. I have a private Instagram group and we're going to be chatting. We do Zoom chats and stuff like that. We used to be a Facebook group, but it got small. And I love it anyway because it's more intimate that way. So we're going to start going back to the things that we used to do. Margaret and Michelle are in for a treat because such a phenomenal group. We get to see each other. We're going to miss Wendy, but we'll be doing some stuff. Saturday happened to be the day that everyone wanted to do. So what you do is you just figure out what kind of content you want to put out. And then you go from there. And that's your brand. The brand is who you are, who you authentically are. So I'm Leslie. I'm diversifying my income. I'm making cool videos. I'm doing YouTube. I'm a reseller's passion. I'm on Etsy. I'm tie-dyeing. I'm bleaching. All that is me branding myself. Yeah, Wendy, we're going to have to come up with another day. So yes, everybody, yes, the Grateful Queen, Quimby's one of my moderators, and she says thumbs up. Currently, there are 20 people in the chat, so there should be 20 thumbs up right now. Okay, so the third question, Glow Girl Glow, Nikki again. She says, what are the best platforms to sell handmade items? To me, the best platform is Etsy, and then the other best platform would be for you to have your own website. Anytime that I've sold on Etsy, I've always had a website. And now you can also create a Facebook shop. So I talked about that. I want to try to get a little bit deeper into it by creating another video. But if you haven't seen it, I've talked about how to create a Facebook shop and connect it. So I think I want to go a little bit further on connecting it to your Instagram. So a Facebook shop is really like the equivalent of a free website. Again, I started off talking about Mark Zuckerberg and some of his plans that he has for people because he knows that people are struggling. So that's an opportunity for you literally to create a free business and link it to your Instagram. So I say Etsy. The reason that Etsy is because Etsy is a platform that's already built for handmade sellers. And I sold there for 8 years. So when people because the reselling community is small and they see me doing things, it's always like, wow, your new venture. The new part about it is that the medium in which I'm working in, which is the tie-dye and the bleach, but Etsy's not new to me. And so I have some techniques and I can teach anyone how to grow a successful business. In July alone, I made over $1,500 on Etsy. So there's Cynthia. I answered your question first, Cynthia. I was looking for you. So that's so to me it's Etsy. And just because the thing I like about Etsy is when people come to Etsy, they have the expectation of paying what you're asking for. It's a handmade platform, so they're well aware that they're going to pay for your work. That's why I don't put my handmade items on Poshmark and Mercari, because I'm a handmade seller. Once I tie-dye, my full intent is handmade, so I can get the audience and I can work the SEO. I have some plans and I have some ways of making sales. I make sales every single day on Etsy, and I can totally show you how to do it. So that's hopefully that answered that question. And there's a lot of smaller platforms out there, but they just never made it. So I wouldn't even mess with anything but Etsy. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, see, it's funny. Everything's slowly coming up on my computer. So it must be the StreamYard. So number 4, this is Glow Girl Glow. What are my plans for my new graphic t-shirt business? So to make some sales. So this was the thing. The first thing I want to say, I'm so blown away by the fact that the tie-dye and the bleaching has taken off. It's not a trend. Again, I talk about things because our reselling community is so small. So when we see things, we're like, wow, we see all these people tie-dyeing and whatever, but I'm in other groups and I have other things that I'm doing outside of the community, other friends and other ventures. And I'm 51, and Wendy and anyone over 50 can relate. Tie-dye has been here. It's not a trend. It just seems that way because we're in our small community, and now people are home and they're trying to find ways to make money. And sometimes I look and go, wow, you need to sell that somewhere else because you're giving Poshmark your 20%. That's a whole nother thing. So what I will say is when I started tie-dyeing, it's something that I wanted to do for a long time. It's not because I saw anyone doing it. I just wanted to do it. And so I went onto Pinterest and I said, okay, let me figure out how to do this tie-dyeing thing. And once I saw how simple it was, my thing instantly was, now I can make it a business. And then I started adding my items to my vintage store. And then I was like, you know what? I'm making really good sales. So I decided, I said, you know what? I'm going to take a leap of faith and separate the stores. I'm going to leave vintage, and I'm going to make a whole handmade store. And within the first 2 weeks of my handmade store, the numbers just skyrocketed like crazy. So I get these boxes from Jomar and ThredUp of these shirts. Now, ThredUp, they call theirs rescue DIY shirts, whereas Jomar and some other places that I found shirts they're just like t-shirts. So it's like you can get band shirts, you can get whatever, for anybody who's interested. They have some now. Jomar's a little bit more expensive, but you're actually going to get a better quality shirt from Jomar than you're going to get with ThredUp, even though you're going to get good shirts from ThredUp. Okay. You're just going to get more band shirts and more school shirts and things like that from Jomar. And I would definitely look around. I found a couple of vintage places, and I've actually ventured into Goodwill yesterday. I peeked in, it was only 5 people in, and I went in and I went right for t-shirts. I got about 5 t-shirts and a pair of shoes, and then I was out. I was done in 15 minutes. So with my graphic shirts, I was like, I had all these shirts that had graphics on the front. So I said, let me do that. So I'm slowly taking all of I'm doing what I did before. I'm taking all of the graphic shirts off of my Etsy store. And I've created, for people who don't know, I have a Shopify. The link is in my Instagram bio, and it's called Graphic Necessity. The name kept coming to me, so it may not mean any, I don't know. I think it's cute, and it means it's cute. People will remember it. So I'm hoping to really get some sales. Sales were coming in. Thank you, Nikki. And a couple other people who have made sales. A Shopify store is the way to go. If anybody wants me to do more on website, like a video or something like that, let me know. Put all your questions in the comments. Okay. Let's see. Um, I'm looking at the comments. It says, yeah, I'm gonna write a quick note because I'm gonna come back to that. So that was a Q4 question. That's a really good one because I was gonna do a video on that. Let me see if I'm missing anything up top. Okay, so I'm the Grateful Queen, who is Quimby. If you don't follow her, you should be following her, especially on Fridays. I like checking in on Quimby on Friday. She goes live because it's just like having a conversation with a friend. Her intention was to to do hauls, but I think it's better just with her just having conversation with the community, like what I'm doing now. It says, I think Leslie makes real connections. That is how she knows the names. It's genuine connection in relationships. It definitely is, especially in this time that's so uncertain and we're all over the place and we can't make connections. I think this is the best we can do. So why not do it? Let's see. Do you have any tips on getting ready for Q4? Michelle, I'm going to come back to that in a minute. Tie-dye and bleach is going to last a long time. Yes, Wendy. Do I need a business account on Etsy? You have to have a business account because it is a business. So that's the only way business works on Etsy. So what happens is you create an account. Your first account is just a account so you could purchase stuff. If you want to open up a shop, then you have to go a little bit further. They're going to ask you a little bit about like your social security number. It has nothing to do with if you have it's no credit thing or anything like that. The reason they want your information is because if you make a certain amount of money, you'll get a 1099. So they record everything. So you have to request a shop. You're officially now a business. So there's only one way to go on Etsy. Wendy is 52. Yay. I got a box of ThredUp DIY shirts, but there was lots of kids in it. And that's really surprising. I only so far I'm about to get my 8th box, and I've only probably gotten two children's shirts from there. So it says, thank you, Michelle. She loves graphic necessity. Yes, please do a video on Shopify. So I'm going to write Shopify here. I've been selling on Shopify for 8 years. When I was on Etsy, my business was called Surprise Designer. Then I opened up a Shopify. So I was selling both. I actually used to make way more money on handmade than I've made on reselling. So that's why I know handmade. And I thought that my handmade days were over with the crochet. It says my girl, Sandy P. Leslie, you did a video on opening a Facebook store. Do you have more tips on that? I can, if you ask them in the comments, Sandra, I will answer for you. Okay. So Q4, this is the thing with Q4. And if anybody else has anything to contribute, either Quimby, anybody, Q4, start prepping now. This is the thing though. This year is way different than before. We don't know what to expect. So you can start looking and finding trends. I think now that we're going forward, there's still a lot of places that aren't going to be open. I think even though schools are open, I think eventually they're still going to go virtual. I think that it's probably not going to work out. I don't want to put any bad juju out there, but I personally wouldn't send my child to school. If my daughter's school, she's college, and if she hadn't gone virtual, it would have been a thing because I had already started, like she wasn't going because she's susceptible and stuff. So I do see ugly sweaters in there, but the thing is, things are going to change. So you want to make sure you try to get your business ready for gift giving, right? People aren't going to be going into the stores because just keep in mind, it's summer right now. I think it's going to be a whole nother wave of this thing. So people are going to start staying in. The weather changes. People aren't going to want to go out anyway. So you want to just start preparing for gifts. If you sell on places like eBay and Mercari, you probably want to have some games. I did really well. I have games, puzzles, video games, any type of electronics, comfortable clothes. For the people who go Lululemon crazy, now is the time to stockpile Athletica, Lululemon, all the comfortable items. Pajamas. I've been selling a lot of lingerie. If you don't already, get on bras. Plus bras sell. From the first day Thomas brought home a Torrid bra for me. I didn't even know what Torrid was. I've been selling bras like crazy. So you definitely want to think about, like, how are you at home? If you're not leaving your house, how are you sitting around your house? I sit around in my house all day long in yoga pants and sweatpants. I don't dress for business because I'm home and I want to be comfortable. I used to work a job. I don't have a job now. I have a business that I can sit around in my underwear if I wanted to. So there will be, again, so as Wendy just said, there will be no Black Friday this year, and people will be doing more online shopping. So there's a lot of things you have to start thinking differently now. You definitely, if you are on Etsy is the best place to be right now. Michelle is doing some things. So I think you said you're doing cards or something like that. Etsy is really the place to be. If you're doing stickers, if you're doing cards, because people are going to be buying like cards, gift sets. If you're making things for adults, consider making things so that they can have matching clothes for their children. They're home. Mom with her girl stuff, mom with a matching tie-dye shirt for her daughters. Start thinking in terms of that. So people will be home. They're going to be comfortable. So get creative. Q4 is definitely going to be different. I've always done well in Q4. It's always been my best, the holiday season, but you really, 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 really want to start thinking in a different way. Think about how you're living your life. Talk to some of your friends and see how they're living their life, because shopping is going to be totally different. And the cool thing with me is I don't Christmas shop anyway. Once my children all got older, I don't buy Christmas gifts. So for me, I can't relate to that part. I have adults. Once people get jobs, I don't buy presents. People think that's weird, but they're not. Some of these kids make more money than me. So, so Q4 is a really bit of a challenge this year. So, Margaret from Dresden Avenue says, newbie question, is Q4 just a big deal because of the holidays? Curious why there's so much. Yes, Margaret, Q4 is because of the holidays. And the reason is holiday shoppers shop early. When I did buy for my children when they were young, I started shopping at the end of August, early September. That is exactly why Q4 is so important. And then also you want to start thinking, the United States, the weather changes everywhere, but for some reason people's mind go to, fall weather for Q4, even though the people in Hawaii and California aren't always dressing, winter wise. So, yeah. And then Quimby has a really great suggestion. She says she thinks cheaper items too, clothing under $20. So that's the key. Like for people who are making masks, like Wendy, who is sewing masks, and not even necessarily to tie that, but if you're sewing, like if anybody follows Tori from Girly Girl Style, today she just showed how she got some vintage Batman sheets. She's going to be doing masks. You can make masks and say it's for the family. So like Wendy, find a fabric. It could be Christmas fabric, and you can make masks, mom, dad, 3 kids or whatever. So it's just, and do custom. That's another thing on Etsy. If you can make custom listings, do that, because it'll be so much better to do that. Okay. So for those who want to stick with me, because I'm answering questions in the chat, and I'm also answering questions. Yeah. It's so funny, Quimby. I'm telling you, I'm looking at my chat on the computer, and I'm just up to where Nikki asked me about an Etsy account. They're slowly coming in, so that's why I'm looking down, because I'm reading from my tablet. So Wendy from Salt Creek South says, I am waiting to do all thrifted or handmade items for Christmas for our family. Yes. And Michelle says, my cheaper stuff goes on Mercari, less fees. Yes. Okay. So I wrote it down now. I can't read what it says. The person who asked you the question, if you're here, put your hand up. I wrote down my scribbly. I tried to write everybody's name. It says, how much do I pay myself, and how much do I invest back into my business? Well, this is the funny thing. Right now, I usually invest everything back into my business because I'm not going anywhere. So I'll treat myself to stuff very seldom. I will say, because I was gifted this beautiful community, and my children gave me money. So I took money and I actually bought stuff for myself, and I actually bought more business stuff than personal stuff. But I don't pay myself. I'd rather invest it back into the business because I'm home. So it would be different if I don't have a car. Thomas and I only have one vehicle. We're very frugal. We're really, really frugal people. We're saving for a new place so that we can get exactly what we want. So I don't pay myself. I put money in the bank. I'm saving. And I'm going to be investing soon, more than I was, Acorn in some different places. And also now that I have more opportunity for some businesses that are growing, I've just been investing into the business. So it doesn't make sense because I'm home. I'm sitting around again. I can make my shirts and things like that. So I don't pay myself at all. And I could if I wanted to. And I'd rather pay like my daughter who helps me on occasion, give her some money. So this next question is from Dresden Avenue. Who is Margaret? Margaret, raise your hand. Okay, so Margaret says, how did I keep my children interested when homeschooling? So super cool. Now you have a younger baby. Well, my daughter was about that age when I started homeschooling. So you have a baby who just turned 1 on my birthday. And so what I did was creative, very fun. I literally had a room. I had a chalkboard. It was their room, little table, all the toys. If you can do that, I actually sacrificed my dining room in the house that we had. We had like a little tiny entrance room. So I used that as my dining room. And then I created the dining room next to the kitchen. I made this huge space for them. So we had it was a kitchen set and all that stuff in there. And it was a little harder back then because we didn't have all the virtual, literally when I was homeschooling, we were just going from AOL. And I can relate because I did have a daughter my daughter Stephanie is on the spectrum as well, Margaret. So I see you say you have a 5-year-old. So you just want to make it fun and you want to work based on your child's interests. Especially since my children had siblings. So, and then my daughter who's on the spectrum, she was part of a stair step. She literally, I had 3 within 3 years. So it was easy for them to kind of get, together. But we had fun. We did every single day. We did something. We cooked every day. We did art every day. We gardened. We did everything. I did I'm a baker. So I've never bought cakes for them. I've made all their cakes. And we did all type of art projects. We cooked a meal every single day, whether it be a meal for lunch, a meal for our project. And we learned about that. That made it so much fun. And actually the fun thing about that, Margaret, if you don't know, because I cooked every day with my children every single day. And we sat down for dinner every day. My daughter, who is on the spectrum, is now a chef. So that's the cool thing. Her love of food went that far, and she's actually about to start a YouTube channel. So when she does, I'll let everyone know about that. So you just make it fun every single day. We did, and when they had parties and stuff, we did the themes. It was just so much fun going out every day and gardening. We did walks every day. It's a little bit more challenging now because I put together a mommy group, and our friends and we would meet at the playground. A lot of things that they're doing now, I had to get creative, and I had to, back then it was only Craigslist. We didn't have all the same stuff on Facebook and whatever. So just make it fun and do what you can. Take a nap when you can. When they sleep, you sleep. Unfortunately, we try to do our businesses, but if you don't get rest and if mama's not happy, no one's going to get happy. And I can tell you that because I had 5. So when people go, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I had 5. So I had to when they went lay down, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to lay down too, And for a short time, for 2 years, I actually watched my cousin's son, and that's too much. So hopefully that answered, but just make it fun and do what you can do. We're only human. Okay. So it says, here is a tip for the little ones homeschooling. Make everything that you do a game. And that's exactly what Wendy says. And that's the other thing. When people ask me, this is one of the things, right? Especially right now, we tend to put so much on ourselves. I'm old school. My mother was really strict, and she made sure we cleaned and learned how to do stuff. So my children had to clean. I did not clean up after them. But when they were 2, by the time they were 2, everybody had to clean up, and you make it a game. You can do, back then when my daughter was young, Barney was the thing. And I'm like, oh my God, clean up, everyone, everywhere, whatever, do your share. So that was our song every day. And they knew it was time to get up and clean. By the time they were 5, don't even look at me, do your own stuff. By the time they were 8, they were washing their clothes. Everybody in my house knows how to cook, read a recipe. I don't wash anybody's clothes. I don't do any of that stuff. So I would definitely just say, just like Wendy said, make it a game. What we do is we trick our children. We train them by tricking them. They don't realize it. So that's, because you can't do everything by yourself. If the room is junky, I don't pick nothing up. I used to, they had to do it because I didn't make the mess. So hopefully that makes sense. And Michelle says, when my kids nap, I nap. That is right. Nikki says, I set a small budget of $50 for sourcing. I pay myself by paying debt with the money I make from reselling. That is perfect, Nikki. That is perfect. And if you guys, again, do not follow Nikki, who is Glow Girl Glow, follow her on Instagram. She goes live every Sunday at 8:00. It may change or fluctuate, but she'll let you know if you're following her. And definitely. Yes. So Wendy says baking or cooking is a great way to teach fractions, measuring, adding, and subtraction. Definitely. We did all that. We played store. We had a register with Play Money. And I have 3 children who are mathematically inclined. So like they all went to a gifted program. My youngest just graduated from one of the top schools in Delaware. That's the stuff that I started in the beginning. And then they went on and off the school when I couldn't handle anymore. But definitely Play Money is the way to go. Do it through puzzles. We play games. People didn't play. Not everybody plays board games anymore, but board games are the way to go. Okay. Let's see. How did I? Okay, that. So, what do I use to stay on schedule? Planner, alarms, etc. So, I do use a planner. I just got this beautiful planner from my friend El Posh Closet, who is Nora, which is a passion planner, which fell in perfectly in line to what I want. So I do use a planner. I have a big, I don't know if anybody can see it, but I have a big calendar on my wall. You can see some of it right there. It stays right in front of me because my chair is over here. The calendar is right over my television. And I use the calendar. I have some goals at the top. And then I use a content creator that keeps me online for where I want to post. I post 3 to 5 times on Instagram. I do Twitter once a week. I do LinkedIn. I do Pinterest. So I make sure I have a calendar that helps me with my content. I do not use a scheduler. That I probably will never use a scheduler because I like to just be random. I'll write down what I want to post during the week, but it may change up. So hopefully that helps you. But I do use, but like Nikki knows, if you've purchased my ebook, somebody just purchased my ebook today. Was that you, Michelle? If you purchase my ebook, I have scheduling. I teach you how to schedule, to budget, and those things in there. So I basically follow that, what I showed you in there. It says, what do I use this? Okay. This is another one from Nikki. Have you considered a mentors program? Okay. I'm going to come back to that one because I've already got that in the works, and Kay was asking about it. I already have a Facebook group set up. I put it on the back burner because I've been working on some other stuff. I guess I'll talk about it now, but I am actually starting a mentorship program. It's kind of be like a mentorship program, a mastermind group, kind of like an online school kind of thing, with me just creating content to teach people how to do things. And so there's Nora. We were just talking about you in that passion planner that you gave me, Nora. Love you, Nora. Nora is another person that I've had the pleasure of meeting. Nora and she's been one of the very first people in my community. So Nora, and then Sandra says, I swear that ebook is great. I have it and I refer it all the time. Love the forums. Thank you, Sandra. Mm-hmm. So for the mentorship program, I'm going to have information. I'm going to probably be putting out, asking people questions of what they're looking for. This is the thing. I'm creating a mentorship program. It's going to be kind of like a paid program. Well, it is going to be a paid program. But for me, I don't consider myself a reseller. So I don't know how you look at yourself. I consider myself a business owner. The reselling community is really weird when it comes to people charging for things. I have literally people who pay me. I do Zoom chats and all kinds of things. People pay me $40, $80 an hour to sit with me and learn how to grow their business. And if I were to do a mentor or a mastermind group, it would be similar to that. It would be just like a monthly fee. So I want people to know that I am not just involved in the reselling community. I just happen to be a reseller whose platform has expanded because of the reselling community, the people that I've met, the places that I've been. But I go and I belong to other groups, and then people start asking me questions. And that's why I started my consulting. I didn't start consulting because no one in the reselling community seems to be interested in that, because people are in their own thing. So if you're interested in growing beyond what you're doing and learning how I diversify, learning what kind of businesses you can do, how to grow up, how to start a podcast, how to start a website, these are the kind of things that I'm going to be talking about. So it's up to you, and I'll start putting information out, because I'm not constantly trying to sell. But our community is not the only people. So I don't create a graphic t-shirt business for our community. I create it, and then also I use social media, and that's how I grow my business and make sales and things. So the reselling ebook that I've made is the only reseller content that I'll create that's paid content from now on. So just so you know, my knowledge and the things that I do span way beyond the reselling community. Okay. Okay. So Wendy says, one of the best ways I taught my son the value of money when he was 5 and 6 years old was to play store. I put price tags on. Wendy, we're so kindred spirits. Yes, that's how you do it. Monopoly, and he learned how to buy and make change. And then also we need to teach our children how to have bank accounts. And I did that for all my children. And Cynthia says, I'm an entrepreneur. Agree with Leslie. Michelle says, I have been an entrepreneur and a reseller on and off a long time, but social media is a whole new ballpark for me as a business owner. Yes. So if you think about it, even though you're having fun, if you use social media as an extension to your business, that's how I use it. I'm having fun every single day. When you see me showing up, I'm showing up having fun, but that helps me grow my business by making new connections. I don't look at social media as a place that I go, oh yeah, I got to leave it alone for a while. I use it as my business. So if I look at it from a business perspective, we're making friends, we're building relationships, and that's a beautiful thing. So for the most part, though, I'm building my business. So I don't look at it as, oh, I can't watch that today. It's too much going on in the world. I keep that stuff out of my head. That doesn't worry me. Each person is individual and they're different. So I'm not talking about anybody. I'm just expressing to you that if you take a day off from social media, you're taking a day off from your business. So like if you do, like if your family time is Saturday and Sunday, yes, take that whole day off. That means if you're not reselling, then don't be on Instagram. But the days that you're reselling, then you need to be on social media. Now, the key to that is using it as a business tool. If you're just sitting on there all day scrolling, and you're getting upset or you're gossiping and you're not using it the right way, I use it as an extension. What I'm doing here now is an extension. The videos that I make is an extension. My Facebook shop, my Etsy store, everything that I do is an extension of my business. I would not leave social media alone. I go on Facebook probably about 20 minutes a day. That's where my family is, and that's where social is. And I'll read through some stuff, look at a couple videos, and then I'm done. But Instagram, I strategically build my Instagram. It's amazed me how I went from, this time last year, I was 2,000 community members, and I'm about 2 something away from 19,000. So it surprises me. It really does. Okay. So it says, Cynthia says, yes, love all Leslie's content because you can tell that she is having fun. I'm totally having fun. Even when I'm at the eye doctor and some different stuff, I've just been smushed for a mammogram. Michelle says, I look forward to you showing up. I hope that one day I can make the difference for someone. You already have made a difference for someone. You've made a difference for me. You come into my heart, Michelle. To Lisa Jones at Vegan Baby Feeding, my first self-published e-cookbook coming soon. Please share, lots of babies can benefit. That is awesome. That is fantastic. And for other people, an ebook is the way to go. If you've ever an ebook, I want to see more podcasts. Cynthia has a podcast. Put the name of your podcast in there. I want to see that kind of stuff. Put your social media information, people. I'm going to be doing some more lives and kind of connecting people a little bit more, doing some different things. I would love to as we start going into talking to some mommies about like homeschooling and different things, and people who are making this work so they can start reaching out to the community so that other people can start hearing from them, because you're not alone. We feel like we're alone, but now we have to navigate through social media the best way that we can. So if this is the way that we can do it, then we have to do it. And that's why so many people are going live and doing things. And so within our chat, we'll be talking about that for the people. I probably have about 5 more spaces. I have a private chat group on Instagram. If you're interested in joining, send me a DM. Don't put a comment here. Send me a DM on Instagram. I am accepting some more people. We have a lot of fun. It's an accountability group, and we are actually going live on Zoom on Saturday. We have fun, and there's somebody that you can talk to and chat with all day. Wendy says, do you sell through Instagram or do you link people back to another platform? I have a link in my bio. I have a campsite link, which is similar to Linktree, and I have Milkshake on a couple other ones, but everything is in there. So I just link them to wherever I'm selling through. So I also use Pinterest very strongly. If you don't use Pinterest, I have a video to show you how to use Pinterest to grow your business. Pinterest has been a game changer. If you're into numbers and analytics, everything that I do, I put on Pinterest, and it has grown exponentially. So Cynthia says, in Spanish, Leslie, I did have an interview with Nora. We talked for 3 hours after the interview because Nora is super special. I love Nora. Cynthia, if you haven't had a chance to meet her in person, she is super fantastic. I wish that we had time to spend with each other. Many of my friends that I'm hoping to meet one day, my girl Wendy, it is definitely on our plan, right, Wendy? We got to meet each other. Says how to begin reselling store with no audience or following at all. Just keep showing up every single day. I started reselling in 2016, but I really got serious in 2018. Literally the day that my son is due home, August 17th, will be 2 years that I've been full-time reseller. January 2019 is when I really started getting involved in the Instagram community. And so it may seem like, again, people who are just joining me that I've been doing this, but I'm still learning every single day. The key to growing your business is showing up, figuring out what you want to say. Because I think it's all about just kind of telling a story. What kind of story do you want to tell? That really is it. When you go onto Instagram, what is it that you want to share? You can share as little or as much as you want. You can share your family, whatever you want to share. But this is the thing. When you come to Instagram, don't just sell. Show who you are. Let people see you. You'll see the difference. And I guarantee you that was a game changer for me. You probably won't see in the beginning because I took a lot off because I used to go, oh, this is what sold on Depop. Oh, look at what sold today. That's what sold. This is what I have for sale. People were like, yeah, whatever. But if you show up every day and show people who you are, then it definitely will, how to get around Uncle Sam coming after resellers. I understand every other aspect. Well, my thing is, I don't think you want to do that. I mean, if you're making money, then Uncle Sam, that's his money too. So you have to figure that out within your state, what the requirements are, but you can't get around that because you're in business, regardless if it's a hobby. If you're making revenue, then it has the IRS is required to come and get what they need. I decided the podcast because of you, Leslie. When people push me, it makes me better. Well, Cynthia, I want to say, first of all, I'm proud of you because I have been talking about that for a long time. I believe everybody in our community who speaks another language should have a podcast. People in our community who speak another language should have a YouTube and Instagram. They should be putting themselves out there so that people can see we're all this diverse community that we have. Because for people who may not have been to like either a Posh and Sip or a Posh Party Live, or even had the pleasure of going to Posh Fest, when you go to these events like a Posh Party Live or a Posh Fest, you see the diversity of the people. There's so many people for every color from all parts of the world who do this Poshmark, who are now in the States and in Canada, who are growing their businesses. And I believe because we're all in the same community, people should know who we are. And that's why I do the Spanish girl chats. That's why I do the brown girl chats. I may get to the guys. I have to see. But since women are like a large percentage of their community, I just really think everyone should be, I think voices should be heard, because like when I did the brown girl chat, the ladies were like, I didn't know it was brown people out there. Oh yes, tons of us out here who are reselling. So it says, somebody just said, oh, so Jennifer says, agreed on the tax issue. I'd be speaking to accountant as to what you need to be doing. Definitely, you need to speak to accountant, the CPA. Definitely check your state guidelines. Anytime you're making money, you have to account for it. Every year I do my taxes, even on years when I'm not making, like, if I haven't hit 20,000, you still need to file. I keep all my receipts. I just started creating a dashboard to keep everything in. But Thomas and I, we file taxes every single year. I've been looking to communicate with other German-speaking resellers. So I would definitely start mentioning that in your YouTubes, Margaret. That's what I did when I got started. Is if you saw the first video, in the first couple of videos, I started saying, you know, I want to reach people who are like in my age range. So I would definitely say, start talking about that. And then you can also hashtag, because it would surprise you how many people are in the community and who was looking for who. And that's how the Spanish community is growing, because they're looking for each other. When I ask people to be on my chat, I'm actually searching for you. So that's how I find you, because I'm looking for you on purpose. So if you start putting out there what you need, the universe will provide it for you. Okay, I'm gonna do a couple more questions because I'm already into like 9. Wow, you friends are amazing. I'm saying, okay, so I'll come back. The mentorship program, definitely. I'm gonna do a survey, but I'm going to start it anyway because I already started it on Facebook. I'm not taking any members. I added a couple people, but I'm not adding any more. But I'm going to tell you. So it's going to be called a Reseller's Passion Women's Masterclass. Okay, so that's once I get more information. Okay, the last 5 questions are from Nikki. Thank you, Go Girl Glow. It says, do I foresee any more business ventures in the future? Yes, always. But so my next, this is what's going to happen. So we're trying to move. We don't know when. We've put a hold on it because of everything that's going on. I don't want to move now. There's a lot of people moving. God bless you. I don't want to do it. We don't have to go anywhere. So maybe November, December. I'm hoping first of the year, but if we find something by November, my goal is if we're going to move into November, I want to be gone and in my house by Thanksgiving so my children could come. But August, what I'm doing right now is I'm inventorying everything. I'm putting together an inventory system. I'm actually going to be doing a video by Saturday or Sunday. I'm creating a whole new inventory system. I'm getting everything together. I'm making sure everything is in order for my closet so I can start grabbing stuff. By September 1st, I'm going to start sitting down and writing some courses and things that I've been working on. I have some books. I've been put all that to the side. COVID has made me change what I'm doing. I'm excited about what I'm doing because I'm actually making money. I'm using my hands, and that keeps my mind clear, keeps me in the Zen space. So handmade, I love working with my hands because it occupies any evil or unnecessary thoughts. So if you ever wonder why I keep going, that is why. Because when you stop, your mind becomes idle. And when your mind is idle, that's when things happen that aren't necessary. So there will always be businesses. We shall see. I'm also ordained to marry people. I'm actually going to be marrying my sister next month and her fiance. They're going to be my first wedding. So that's super exciting. Let's see. So the Grateful Queen says to Talisa, there are so many legitimate write-offs for writing off your business expense. So I think it's a great side hustle that way. I have a CPA and I use GoDaddy bookkeeping. Yes, I agree. Let me tell you, if you keep track of everything, right? Quimby, gas, eating, all your receipts, it's a lot you can write off. And we have to do that now because we have no more dependents. just like, everybody's moving out, moving on. Yes. So Michelle says you have to stay busy to keep your mind clear. Plus creating and making is calm. Definitely. Holy moly, Leslie, you wear many hats. I do indeed. Let me tell you, Sandra, this is the time to do it. I see you over there doing your tie-dye stuff. This is the time to do it. So many people think that once their children are gone, and I prove that, look, y'all go ahead and move on, y'all. I'll be a little sad, but at least my mind will be occupied. Okay. So Nikki says, what has been the most challenging part of being a business owner? I really thought about it. I really think that's a really hard one to answer, because the best part about it, did you give me the other side of it? Yeah, you did the best part about it. What has been the most exciting part? So I'm going to do the most exciting part first. So Nikki says, what has been the most exciting part of being a business owner? The most exciting part goes in line with the first one, I think, was when Cynthia asked about diversifying, I think. But the most exciting part is being my own boss, working for myself, doing whatever I want to do. That's the cool thing. Some people, they can't relate because you're where I was. And so now I'm at the part of my life that my children are older, and literally I can do whatever I want. Like literally, like I have like the best husband. I don't have to cook when I don't want to cook. My house is barely clean. I'm keeping it real. My bathroom's clean. My dishes stay clean. My clothes, when I run out of socks and underwear, I wash my clothes. I'm just keeping it real with you. I don't have to do like I used to with a structured cleaning schedule. Get up on Saturday, everybody get up and clean. And I cook dinner when I want to. Everybody in my house knows how to cook full meals. If I never wanted to cook again, I cook because I want to, maybe once or twice a week. That is it. So that's the cool and exciting thing, is I own my life and I own my time. And that's what I love about working my business. If I don't want to do something today, I don't do it. If I want to add something, I can add something. If something's not working, I get rid of it. I don't deal with toxic people. I'm not stressed. If your business is stressing you, you have to reevaluate. So if I have a day when I'm stressed, I stop what I'm doing, go to something else where I sit back and watch TV or read a book. That's the cool thing. I work for myself, no one else. It's customers out there. I don't really think I'm not working for them. I'm providing them a service. So that's the most exciting part. And I also home with my husband. That was like my goal in the beginning, to start reselling. For people who don't know, he doesn't resell because of me. I resell because of him. He's a retired fighter. And when I met him, he was reselling on eBay and Amazon. I was working. He was retired. What can we do to bring us together? Reselling. But I've taken it like much further than he can even imagine. So that's what I love about the most exciting part, is making my own hours. And then the second part of that is meeting everyone in this beautiful community. That's the other thing, meeting so many great people who I literally call friends. So the most challenging part of my business, I think I had structured where I was going to start traveling. I'd gone to Massachusetts. That's where I met Daniela, Ivy and Blush. Ivy and Blush Bottega and Lori's Boston Found, and so many people, where I met Lizette and her husband Andrew, and the list goes on. And I was going to start taking my podcast on the road. I was supposed to have already been to Seattle and Colorado. I was supposed to be going to, I was waiting to see what was going to go on with Posh Fest so that I could go onto the West Coast. I was going to go like to Posh Fest and then make a stop like into LA or something. So that is what has the unfortunate thing, just because of this time. Okay, let me look here so it says, yes, Michelle, QuickBooks, the app. Adding to Nikki's question, what has been the most challenging part of being on social media, most exciting? I don't have any challenging parts about being on social media, Michelle, and that's really the truth. I make everything exciting. I mean, there will be days where some people, the challenge, it's not a challenge. It's like sometimes people get on and they'll irritate me because they're spamming or whatever. That's the thing. As your numbers grow, more people reach out to you. Even if your numbers aren't growing, that kind of thing. I like for people to, if you're going to come and ask me a question, say hi or whatever, people will just like come in and ask me a question, that kind of thing, because the expectation is there. Or like, where's the situation that somebody like, I don't, they'll have an issue with you and you don't even know them. So I think that's their issues. I'm just kind of talking about it now because somebody's blocked me. I don't know her. That bothered me a little bit because we've never met. I never heard of her until somebody tagged us together in a post. But that kind of thing. But the most exciting part about social media is meeting everyone every day, learning. I learn from everyone. And I think that's what people need to do, really, really learn from everyone. Like when I go into people's posts and they have like all their packages and things like that, I'm going like, wow, okay, so look at Cynthia's packages. Cynthia made all this. She did the Amazon and the eBay. And I want to know, like, wow, like, what does she do? I think more people should teach a little bit and stop keeping everything to themselves, because Michelle is where she is and I'm where I'm at. I can't take anything from her. You can't, so that's why I try to share as freely as I can, because that bothers me with the community, not necessarily social media, the negativity and people talking about people. That's what bothers me, because I'm not like that. It doesn't even touch me as how it touches other people. And some people, like, I don't see it. It's stuff that goes on that I don't see, because I don't see hate, if that makes sense. I don't see drama. I don't see through those eyes. So when people say, oh, guess what happened? I'm like, oh, and they tell me, I'm like, oh, okay. It's not unexpected, because I've had people, when I started my podcast last year, I reach out to people and I say, you want to be on my podcast? And they would straight up be like, no, because you're not big enough for us. And now people are starting to contact me now. And I just say, no, I'm not interested, that kind of thing. So people, and I look at it the way, if you look at it like in terms of, if somebody was walking on the street today, like if I was walking outside today, well, I'm not really a good example, but if I was walking outside today, no one would know who I am. Now, if I go to the bins, out of the 60 people, 10 people may know who I am if I go to the bins. But if I'm literally just walking on Main Street, no one knows who I am. So for the most resellers, nobody knows who you are. So we make the people famous. Stop making people famous. I'd rather have a friend than a fan. I'd rather have a friend than a follower. I'd rather have a community member than a follower. So that just the negativity, but I try to go beyond that and see what I can learn. And also, that's bully mentality, which I teach my children. That has nothing to do with me. It has to do with the person. Because again, that person who blocked me, that I know, and I know she blocked me because I went from another one of my pages just to see, like, okay, so you're giving knowledge. I don't know. We're doing nothing similar, but if you're intimidated by me, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm just being me. So that has nothing to do with me. So, that's the thing, Nora. That's what I said. I don't worry about it. Yeah, I don't, Nora knows I don't have drama. I shut you out right out in my groups and stuff. Cause I have so many people say, well, I was in this Facebook group and it was so much drama. You'll never come to my group like that. I'm accepted. Don't bring it to my page. We can all disagree. So it says, Cynthia says, Leslie, how do you feel with the haters? Probably you don't have. I don't have any. I do probably have people hating me. I've had several people unfollow me. I guess as you grow and you start speaking your truth, but that's how you weed out, who's real and who's authentic. And then also when people see that you're real or authentic, and also because our community, that just happens to be where we are, not everyone's doing the same thing. So I'm not doing what a lot of resellers are doing. And so they're not doing what I'm doing. And so we're not going to be able to relate to each other. And it's a lot of people literally in the beginning, even up to like 3 months ago, there were people who I had approached, because I just go through Instagram and say, when I was doing the different segments, just looking for people, and people were like, yeah, I'm not interested, or I'll get back to you. I never reach out to them again, because I'm not begging anybody to be on my podcast or be on my chat or anything. But then when they start digging around and seeing or asking questions, then they come back and go, oh, or they see me on, Daily Refinement, or if they see me on Chelsea, or if they see me on Sarah, or if they see me talking to Denali, then the game changes. But I've been the same person all along. So the ladies who've been with me from the beginning, Nora, Wendy, these ladies, they know me. Sandra's met me in person. So I'm the same person. I'm like, you can't, I say it all the time, like, look at me. Like, you can't fake this, So it says, do I have any haters? I don't know. And yes, it happens to me when I ask about the podcast. It says, like you said the other day, I think, Leslie, people will eventually show their true self. They will. They'll show you who they are. And that's why with me, I have to be authentic, because eventually when you lie about something, you have to remember that. For me, you can't. Like, that's why I talk about my weight. I'm bald. This is not a fashion statement. I have alopecia, which is hair loss. It's lichen planopilatus, which is scarring alopecia. The skin fuses and the hair doesn't grow anymore. I know I'm beautiful, and but people will say, oh my gosh, you're so bold. I'm like, no, I'm not bold. I'm bald. And that's just, I used to have when I met my husband 9 years ago, I had locks and laced hair, but it's hereditary and it's affecting my girls and stuff too. So I have moments. So this is who I am. get a mammogram, get your physical. I have a colonoscopy coming up soon. I'll talk about that. Won't show you what's going on. I'm having eye stuff next week. I'll probably talk about that. So that, hey, can't get any realer than me. 51, gained about 40 pounds. Hey, whatever. So it says, yes, we love you, Leslie. I'm so glad. Definitely. Sandra's one of my stalkers. So no, she's not. Lying is way too exhausting. I can only be me. Just keep. Yes, right. That's right. Leslie, you're originally undeniably the best. Right back at you, my good friend Wendy. Yes. So let's see. Just a couple more, and then I won't hold you any longer. So it says, what's one advice you would give someone looking to start their own business? That's a really good one. Hey, Lizette, what's up, friend? Where you been? Lizette? Hey. Okay. Lizette's one of my moderators too. Thankfully, Quimby was here just in case we had to karate chop somebody. What advice would I give someone to start their own business? I would say think about it before you want to do it. That's the most important thing. Really take some time to think about it and really figure out what it is you want to do. Don't just jump right into something without coming up with a plan. Having a plan is really important. So Lizette, I'm looking at my tablet. If you see me looking, it's a delay. First of all, something's been going on with StreamYard. If you guys were on Blake's and somebody else this week, something really weird is going on. So from my computer, Lizette, I can, the comments are coming through, every 20 some minutes or whatever. But on my tablet, I can see it. So that's why I'm looking down. If you see me looking down a lot, it's just something really weird going on. So you've been working. Okay, that's good. So I would definitely tell people to write down a plan. First, figure out what kind of business you want to be in. Because again, as I said, I consider myself a business owner. Reselling is just one of the things that I do. Handmade seller is just one of the things I do. Consulting is just one of the things. But pick one thing and really figure out if that's what you want to do. Do your research. That is really, really important. Do not invest any money into something until you research it. And then also try to find a business that doesn't require you to put any money down. That's the most important thing. Okay. Right there. And then once you decide to do it, start doing it slowly. So like reselling, start in your own closet. That's the most important thing. You should not be buying anything. You should not be investing anything. Let's see. Thank you. Michelle says, thank you to all the other beautiful ladies in this chat that have included me and encouraged me. They are phenomenal. There's Lizette. I've met Lizette. Lizette is a really good friend of mine. She's pretty bossy and, so let's see. Yeah, so we have to totally encourage each other. Lizette, thank you just saying that to Nikki. She said, glow, girl, glow, you're a pro on IG Live. And I agree. Nikki reached out to me. When did you reach out to me? I think it was March. It's so weird that it seems like it's been so long, but it hasn't. And she just, again, I answer all my DMs. Again, I have 5 spaces. I have about 5 spaces left in our private group. So if you want to join, please send me a DM. Do not answer here. We have a fantastic group. Lizette is in our group. Nikki's in our group. Michelle is in our group. Nora's in our group. Wendy's in our group. Margaret's in our group. And probably some other people that I missed. If you're in our group, raise your hand. Sorry. And I'm talking about my everyday group. So yes, I agree. Nikki is a pro. She definitely is. I can still see that she's nervous, but that makes her human. And I love that. Every time she comes on, I can hear in her voice that she's nervous, but I love that because she's real. She's authentic. She gives it all away and it doesn't get any better than that. And so for the people who are watching Nikki show up, just show up like that. Just be your true authentic self. And then no one can take anything away from you if you do that. And then Nikki asked me if there's any more Tucker Talks. I don't know. For people who don't know, Tucker Talks was a segment that I had with Thomas. I came up with that because even as resellers, we both resell, but our businesses are not connected. We don't do anything in our business the same at all. He has different tastes. He has a different personality than I do. And so I wanted to have something that he could I'm laughing because Cynthia is sending me back to back Instagram. Cynthia. So I wanted to do something with him. So we just have to figure out a groove. He's just trying to figure out YouTube and things like that. And so I just got to figure out a groove and see if we can come back in the fall. You know, that's what that is. Okay, where are you sending me? Was that? Look, I'm. What the heck? Oh gosh, too funny. Anyway, so does anybody have any last minute questions? I got through all my questions. Thank you for Nikki, who is always providing the question for me. You guys hung in here with me. It's 20 people in the chat, so it's been more than that, but it should be at least 20 thumbs up. Please set a reminder. I have a lot of content coming. You can leave a comment. Leave your question, put your questions in there. You just came in. I got a couple minutes for you, Lizette. So leave your questions in the leave your information in the comments. If there's a video or something you want me to do, send me a DM and I will think about it. I have a lot of content coming up this week. And again, when do I sleep? That's a question I should have for you. When I'll be up and you're on, and I'm like, I say the same thing. When do you sleep? So I'm in the bed. My goal is to be in the bed by midnight, and I get up when I want to. So that's the cool thing, because this time, like last year, my daughter was going to school, so I was getting up every day at 6 just to make sure she got up. I didn't take her to school. She caught the school bus. And so just to make sure she was up, and I would get up and share my closet and stuff. But I'm in the bed by midnight. I may read a book. I may watch Hulu a little bit or read a book, and then I'm out. And then I just get up whenever I want to. I don't have to, unless I have something, and I don't have anywhere to go. So I get up whenever I want to in the morning, and that's it. Any more questions before we go? Any more questions? Again, a couple people already sent me that they're interested in being in the chat. So even friends who've been around, again, we have a private Instagram chat. We talk, you have buddies in there. We're going to be going live on Saturday. I have some things that I want to propose to the group, that not to help us grow, but to help them grow individually. And so if you want to participate in that Zoom chat, send me a DM. Even if you don't want to belong to the group, we're going live Saturday at noon. I picked that time because it fits every coast. West Coast, you got to get up a little bit earlier, but I did it at noon so that, everyone could be up and have coffee or whatever. And I would have stayed on if it was in my truck. So definitely, if you're interested in being in our chat, the chat is a support group. It's a place that if you're sourcing, you can jump in and ask questions. It is definitely a place to build relationships. We have a lot of fun. That's a place for the people to get sneaky and plan birthdays, good stuff like that. So everyone, I thank you for spending this time with me. It always humbles me that you will take time out of your day to be on. Wendy, thank you. Sandra, thank you. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Lizette. Thank you, Michelle, Nora, Wendy. So hopefully I'm not missing people. Margaret, everyone, thank you for joining me. Cynthia, everyone, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you so much, friends. I appreciate you so much. And if you're ever interested in going live with me, send me a DM. I could probably work something out next Thursday. I don't have anyone scheduled. So if you want to come on, that's what happened last week. Daniela was like, hey, you don't have anybody? I'll come on. So Thursday night, at least, I'll be going live just to kind of keep that momentum going. Maybe another Q&A, or I'll have like a group of people. So ladies, if you've been shy, maybe Michelle will come on. So send me a DM and we can do this live, baby. But thank you so much, everyone. Take care.